everyone, and welcome to Checkpoint. I'm so glad you are here. Thank you, and thank you again for all that you do for us here at Checkpoint. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your shares. And because of all that you do, our message is reaching a wider audience. And for this, we want to say thank you. Thank you for your support over the years. It's been wonderful. It's been beautiful. Now, today on Checkpoint, you know how we roll. It's time for you to invite your friends, your relations, your associates, and your neighbors. Let them know it is time for Checkpoint, and they should be here right now. Okay, so before I share the topic for today, I'd like you to just take this little break and then share to your friends, your relations, your associates, your neighbors. Make sure you are sharing that link now. Yes, you. I'm looking at you. Share the link. Share the link, share the link, and I will be right back after this break to share with you the topic for today. Don't go anywhere. All right, people, welcome back. Okay, I hope you have shared the link to everyone. Now it is time for me to introduce the topic for today. And our topic for today is simple. Money mistakes people make. Money mistakes people make. Now, one thing we need to know about money is that money is also called currency. And currency is gotten from the word current, which means that money flows like a current. So you need to understand this. Money goes and money comes. Money flows like a current. Money flows to the person who knows how to manage it very effectively. And this is the essence of this video, so that you would know these mistakes and avoid them. You make sure that these mistakes do not happen for you, and this will be a wonderful, wonderful time for you to learn a few things about money. You know that money is an essential commodity, and many of us do not really sit back and settle down to learn how to manage money. And that is why it looks like money is running from some people, and then it looks as if money is running towards some people. But if you are able to learn from this particular video and then avoid some of these mistakes, I am very sure that money will run towards you. You'll be among the few that money runs towards. Now, people make mistakes in virtually every area of their life, but today we're just going to focus on the money mistakes that people make. Now, you're going to sit back and ask yourself, are you making these mistakes? And if you're making these mistakes, don't you worry. There's an adage in Igbo land that says that whenever you wake up is your morning. Your morning is whenever you wake up. So please relax, listen to this video, learn, comment in the comment section, and let me know what your thoughts are on the video I am sharing. Now, if you notice any mistake you are making, you can let me know. This number one, this number two, I'm making this mistake and I'm going to correct it from today. Remember, we all are here to learn from each other. And if it happens that I do not share a particular money mistake that you think is very essential, also put it in the comment section. You'll be surprised at how many people will be able to learn from you. And let's do this together, right? I'm not doing this because I am a custodian of all knowledge. No, I am doing this because I believe there are a few things that God has privileged me to know, and I'm willing to share some of those little things with you so that it can make a huge, huge impact in your life. Are you ready? All right, let us roll. Number one money mistake that people make is having just one stream of income. Having just one stream of income. Listen to me. There are several streams of income you ought to have. There are several streams of income you need to have. One stream of income is not sustainable. It's not reliable. It's possible that the place you are working is paying you well. But remember that human beings are the ones there. A conspiracy might come up, you might be set up, you might be fired, several things can happen even to the organization that may make it impossible for them to retain you and continue paying you. And this is why you cannot have just one stream of income. The Bible says that in Eden, 4 rivers flowed into Eden. 4 rivers flowed. Now, it's important that you know that even God thought that one stream was not sufficient for Eden, and he did what? Ensure there were 4 different streams flowing. This, in the same way, you have to ensure that you have at least a minimum of 4 different streams of income. People look at me and they wonder how I'm able to do so much, especially as it relates to women and the less privileged, because I'm able to save up money. I have different streams of income. Money comes in from different ways, from my books, from my speaking engagements, from the music I make. There are several ways through which money comes. We have properties that make money for us. So there are several things that we do that make money come for us. And for those of you who have this myth that if you are a pastor, if you're a minister of the gospel, you should not have something else doing, learn from me. There are several things I do that is able to bring in money for me. I have investments in real estate. I have investments in dollars and other aspects. And these are not things I want to just keep talking about. But see, you have to sit back and ask yourself what works for you, all right? So go back, listen to this video and do something. Do not have one stream of income, because one stream of income is not sufficient for you. It cannot take care of your needs, you know, because there are several needs that needs money. And you cannot just sit back there and say, oh, I'm going to just wait on God, you know, pray. It is good to pray, but after you have prayed, ensure that you also do the needful in order to have money come your way. All right, so it's important that I share with you that there are 2 types of income, right? Number 1 is what we know as active income, and the second one is what we know as passive income. Now, it's important that as you understand the different streams of income, that you understand what we call the active income and then the passive income. For the active income, this simply means that these are income that you get by physically working. Income that you get, as the name implies, by actively doing something. So maybe you go to teach and you make money. Maybe you have to design a thing, you design it and you get money. Maybe you have to work on something and then when you work on it, you get money. This is known as active income. Then the second type is known as passive income. In this one, you don't have to keep working. Maybe you have just worked once for it, and after working the initial time during the active phase, then the money begins to roll in as a result of work you have already done. So example of active income that you should know is maybe teaching, driving, cooking, you know, things that you have to do in engineering work, maybe servicing a particular machine or stuff like that. These are things that you really have to do physically before you can be able to get money and get income from it. But then passive income could include real estate, all right, because you've built the house once and you're done with building the house, and then the house keeps bringing in income for you from the tenants, from the rents, from the leases. So these are the different kinds of income. There are a lot more that I may not be just able to share in this video, but it's important that you take note that we have the active income and we also have the passive income. And I want to advise you that beyond having the active income, please make sure that you also have a passive income. And then all your income sources, all your streams of income should not be active in nature, because it gets to a point where you become overstressed, you become overburdened, all right? You are dragged and stretched in several places that it begins to affect your mental wellness, and you don't want that. So while you have your active income, also do well to have your passive income. So like I said at the beginning, one of the major money mistakes that people make is having just one stream of income. You cannot have just one stream of income. Make sure that there are several things around your area of core competence that you can do to ensure that money keeps flowing into you. Remember the Garden of Eden, one stream was just not enough. It had to be 4 streams. So sit back and ask yourself, what are the 4 possible streams of income that I can have in order to become financially free? Let's talk about number 2. Number 2 money mistake that people make is not having an emergency fund. Not having an emergency fund. My mother taught me this when I was still a little child. And she would always tell me that there is money she saves up. She calls that money fall back. Fall back. Like when all the other income is not working, she always has this fall back. And while growing up, I discovered at different times that there were many times that this fall back money saved our lives practically. There were many times when this fall back money that she would always save helped our lives and change things and switch things up for us. So I learned it very, very early. It's important that you, yes, you watching me, make sure you have an emergency fund, and make sure that the emergency fund is the kind of fund that truly makes sense. All right, imagine that every month you have to save 10,000 naira. By the end of the year, you will have 120,000 naira. Imagine at each month you have to save 20,000 naira. You will have a lump sum of 240,000 naira at the end of the year for you to do certain things with. Always have an emergency fund and save up. Don't say that, oh, don't worry, I'm going to take care of things today. You know that people who live like that, they just assume that let's live today first, then we'll know what we'll do tomorrow. In fact, somebody sang a song, let's just live for today, and then tomorrow we'll think about what to do. But that is not a good way to live. Save up for your emergency fund. All right, save up for your emergency fund and make sure, discipline yourself in a way that nothing touches it. Let me talk to some young people here. I know that in this era, where you have your credit cards, your ATM cards and stuff like that, and you have your account in your mobile phones, you can transfer. Please have an account that does not have an ATM card, an account that does not have a mobile transfer app, and then save your money so that by the time you think of how can I stand up from where I am and then go to the bank and withdraw this money, you may have to think twice or even think thrice. All right, so that you will be able to have your emergency fund saved. People tell me, why will I be able to save when I don't even have enough for today? How are you telling me to have an emergency fund when for now I am living an emergency life? Listen to me, irrespective of that, just save. Somebody said, how can I save? What I have is not enough. But whatever it is that you make collectively, in every month, just tell yourself, as soon as you have paid your tithe, pay another 30% into your emergency fund. Somebody will be like, it's not even enough. Why will I take out 30%? Because it is not enough. That is why you have to send that one out, because altogether it's not going to be enough. All right, it's not even enough at the beginning. So no matter what you do, it's still not going to be enough. So why not just save up that amount and live on the remaining 70% after your tithe has been removed. Just live on the remaining 70% and then work hard. Trust God. Improve on your skills. Improve on your capacity development and keep shooting. Trust that things will turn out better, but please, no matter what happens, don't touch your emergency fund unless there is truly a serious emergency, something that is life-threatening, something that practically your life depends on. That's and only that time should you be able to touch your emergency fund. And when you have touched your emergency fund, what do? Keep saving again. Don't say, I have used it and then you leave it out. Keep saving again. All these emergency funds you save in the piggy bank under your bed, it's not working because you wake up one morning, you are tired, you are frustrated, you break the piggy bank and you break it into pieces. That is why you have to just get yourself up, go open an account where you don't have any ATM card, you don't have any mobile app, so there are no quick ways to collect money from that account. Every way to collect money from that account is a difficult and a stressful way. That way you'll be able to save your money. This is for people who are just young people. Then for people who are older, who already have the resources, who know, please make sure you have an emergency fund. And if possible, make sure that your next of kin has access, rather. Make sure that your next of kin has access to that particular account, all right? Even if they don't have access, let them be a visible next of kin in case of emergency. I'm saying this because I just heard of a very wealthy man who died off simply because he was the one only in charge of his account. He didn't let anybody near. His wife did not have any money. The wife was not a working woman, so she didn't have any savings. They didn't have any joint account. This woman was incapacitated. Where at the moment where her husband was already lying in the hospital bed, they were asking for money to be able to do surgery on him. He was comatose, he couldn't communicate, he couldn't even give access to any account. This woman ran around, looked for this large sum of money and could not find, simply because the husband could not carry her along. All right, so let the next of kin know that they can, in the case of emergency, this is what you have to do in order to save lives, because it's important. I know in this our era, people don't trust a lot. People have a lot of trust issues, and because people have disappointed a lot, people have betrayed you a lot, you tend to be afraid. But make sure that you have an emergency fund, and then let the bankers know that in the case of emergency, this and that can happen. This is very, very important. And let's talk about number 3, money mistake that people make. Number 3 money mistake that people make is allowing lifestyle creep to happen. Allowing lifestyle creep. Now, it just simply means that your lifestyle, you are creeping into a lifestyle that is not suited for you. How does lifestyle creep happen? When people are earning income at a particular level, all of a sudden a breakthrough comes, a testimony comes, and automatically they change their level of lifestyle, their level of living, their standard of living, all of a sudden. But what they forget is that this once upon a time income that came in cannot be sustained, all right? It cannot be sustained. And because it cannot be sustained, you don't have to put yourself in a level that becomes difficult for you. So what am I saying? It simply means that people will just have one particular income that comes, that hits them. They will change their car, they will change their accommodation, they will begin to live a particular lifestyle that is too high. But listen to me, life has its ups and downs, and because it has ups and downs, you should be careful. Don't allow the lifestyle creep to happen to you. Don't begin to change everything and spend everything and put yourself in a position where it becomes difficult for you to manage your finances. Times are changing. Anything can happen, and then you won't be able to take good care of yourself. And this is very, very important. Avoid lifestyle creep. People do this. And I was asking why the person has to change all of these things all at the same time. He asked me, he said, what is the essence of having money if you can't enjoy it? Listen to me. I am not a killjoy, all right? I'm not a killjoy. I believe that people who have money should be able to enjoy it. But see, there is a standard of living you can push yourself to that will not be very difficult for you to sustain over time. So when extra money comes, please save extra, invest extra. Don't begin to switch up your lifestyle all of a sudden. And that's why lifestyle creep happens, unless you are sure that the source of the income is sustainable, and that way you can actually improve on your lifestyle while also being able to make quality investments. So please do not allow lifestyle creep to happen to you so much. All right, so let's talk about another money mistake that people make. That's number 4. Number 4 money mistake that people make is frivolous spending or impulse buying. Frivolous spending or impulse buying. It is commonly said in the US that great fortunes are often lost $1 per time. Great fortunes are often lost $1 per time. Let's bring it back to our country, Nigeria. Great fortunes are often lost 1 naira per time. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, I'm not sure there's anything at all that can be purchased for 1 naira, not even 5 naira. Things are escalating. Inflation is on. It's not an interesting moment, but we believe that God will see us through. But apart from that, avoid frivolous spending. Don't spend all your money on things that are frivolous, on things that are not really important. Why are you buying shoes that you don't need? Why are you buying clothes that you don't need? Why are you buying bags and stuff that you do not really need? Because if you need them, you see that you have been surviving with some of these things for a while. So why do you necessarily have to buy it now? And why do you have to spend that amount on it? Another one is impulse buying. You see anything you want, you like, you buy. You see, it's not everything that you like that you must buy. If you have been listening to me thus far, and you have been joining this video, please let me know in the comment section that you heard me. It is not everything you like that you must buy. As a matter of fact, when I was much younger, I grew up with this principle. Anything that I cannot afford, I simply just try not to like it at that time until I can afford it. Now, it's not pretense, it's just my own way of disciplining myself to be able to wait until I can afford what I want. So another money people make is frivolous spending and impulse buying. There are people, once there is money in their hand, they spend all of it. They don't have a savings culture. They don't have an investment culture. They don't believe in tomorrow. They believe in just today. Once they have money in their hands, they gather everybody. Come, let us eat. Come, let's enjoy. Let's marry. And they forget that there is a tomorrow. And that tomorrow, certain things, just about anything can happen. That is why you should avoid frivolous spending. Don't spend like you are dying tomorrow. There are people that they spend their money like they are about to die tomorrow. Even in as much as I believe that everyone should enjoy each day as if it were their last, I believe so much in everybody living their life optimally, enjoy each day like tomorrow does not exist. But even at that, there should be a limit to how you spend frivolously. It's important that you spend wisely. Spend with prudence, all right? Have prudent spending. Spend wisely, all right? It's not everything that comes to your head you buy. It's not everything you're scrolling. When you're scrolling on internet, you're scrolling on social media, on Instagram, you click on link, buy. It's not everything that you have to buy. Find ways of minimizing your several purchases, all right? Because you don't have to buy everything you see. It's not everything that's advertised that must enter your house. Is that all right? All right, I hope you're getting impacted by this video. Let's continue. Number five money mistake that people make is living on borrowed money. Living on borrowed money. I have seen this and it's a terrible thing to do. I have seen people who do not have money. They go ahead and borrow money and then live on it. Like today, they're borrowing money to eat breakfast. Then for lunch, they will have to go borrow another money to eat for lunch. And then they'll go and borrow another money to eat for dinner. They borrow money to buy clothes, borrow money to buy liabilities. What nonsense is that? You have to think wider. You have to understand that you cannot live on borrowed money. When you live on borrowed money, you are simply living beyond your means. You are living beyond your means. And that should not be so. Don't live on borrowed money. As a matter of fact, if you ever borrow money, you can only borrow to invest. Don't borrow to spend. Let me say this again. Don't ever borrow money to spend. Borrow to invest. If you ever need to borrow, even the Bible says that a borrower is a servant to the lender. Don't put yourself in that situation where you have to borrow money on a regular basis. I hate borrowing. I hate borrowing at all costs. I avoid it with everything in me. And you should too. There are people who their lifestyle is borrowing. They borrow from every Dick, Tom, and Harry. They can ask anybody for money. And that is not a lifestyle to live, all right? Let it be that in your entire life, you only borrowed money maybe twice or 3 times based on what is going up with you. Don't come to that point where you become a perpetual borrower. Bible says that a borrower is a servant to the lender. And don't be the servant to the lender. When that scripture was written, your name was not inserted by the side. Your name does not have to be there. So live differently. Don't live on borrowed money. There are people that every single thing about them is borrowed. They borrow the clothes they are wearing. They borrow the car they are driving. In fact, some of them even borrow the head on top of their head. Please, don't live that kind of life. A borrower is a servant to a lender. If you must borrow, if it comes to the point where you have to borrow, please borrow to invest so that the proceeds that comes out from that investment, the return on investment, you can easily use it to pay off your debt and still be able to stand on your feet. And this is very important and something you should not find yourself doing. All right, let's talk about number 6 money mistake that people make. Number 6 money mistake that people make is not planning for retirement. I know we all want to live long, right? But how many of us are planning for that old age? How many of us are doing the work today that we'll be able to enjoy in old age? Some people are simply waiting for old age to come. Some are just waiting for retirement to come, and they do not have a single retirement plan. What are you doing? Are you even thinking straight? Listen, how old are you now? How old were you 10 years ago? How old were you 20 years ago? The reality is this: time is moving forward and you are growing. You are advancing whether you are aware of it or not. Some time ago, some of you did not have had black hair all through, and now gradually you can visibly see some white hair on your head. That tells you you are advancing. Don't wait for that moment when you have retired, then you begin to run helter-skelter, looking for what to do, looking for how to plan your life. No, plan ahead of time. Refusal to plan is planning to fail. Let me say this again. Refusal to plan is planning to fail. You have to plan for your glorious future. You have to plan for the future that you see. You have to plan for where you are going to. Don't make a hasty plan at the final minute. Everybody is advancing in age, and ask yourself, in 10 years time, will I still have the energy that I have right now? In 20 years time, will I still have the energy that I have right now? In 30 years time, will I still have the energy that I have right now? The answer is absolutely no, and that is why you have to plan for your retirement. Plan for that time when you're not able to physically work to make an active income. Only then will your passive income step in, and that is why I am telling you, invest in real passive income, because over time your passive income will be coming in whether you are working or not, whether you are busy or not, whether you are going to work or not. Money will keep coming into you because you planned ahead of time. Many people do not know this, but this is very essential. This will help you. This will change your life powerfully. So it's very important, and you need to make sure it happens, right? All right, so let's talk about number 7. Number 7 money mistake that people make. Number 7 money mistake that people make is paying your debts with your savings. Paying your debts with your savings. Many people go ahead and they pay debts with their savings. Now, while you may be asking me, what is the essence of having savings if I cannot pay my debt with my savings? And let me explain to you. Instead of paying debt with your savings, use your savings to invest, and the proceeds from the invest, the profit and the proceeds from the investment is what you can now use to service your debt. Many people do not know this. So you have a lump sum come into your hand. You're like, oh, thank God, I can finally pay off this debt and have peace of mind. Listen to me, that your peace of mind will be short-lived if you do not make investment into something that can, even if it's short-term investment, something that can bring out money quickly, something that can turn over the money quickly so that you can be able to pay up your debt. When you have debt and somebody gives you a lump sum, please find a way to hang on with the debt. Even if it has interest, just make sure that you invest in a business that should be able to supersede that interest, so that the interest is not running and then you find yourself at a loggerheads with the person who lent money to you, right? So you won't find yourself having problems with the person that lent money to you. So don't pay up your debt with your savings. When you have savings, use your savings to invest, and in turn, the proceeds from that investment, from the short-term investment, should be able to take care of your debts. And this is very, very important. There are short-term businesses you can make. Selling real estate for somebody else can be an opportunity for you to be able to make up short-term money. Another one can be agriculture. You can go into chicken farming, animal farming, like chickens and fishes, and so that with this money you can be able to turn over and then still have the capital to run the business, and then you still be able to pay up your debt. Let the person know that I'm paying it, I have a commitment, let's have a payment plan for this debt, and I'll be able to pay it off because you have something you are doing. Many people miss out on this. Many people just make assumptions and feel oh, well, let me just pay this and have peace of mind. One thing is sure, when you have paid the debt and have peace of mind, there is nothing else left. So you will still see yourself going back to borrow another money and creating a fresh debt, which does not make sense in any way. So please, let us be wiser. Let's spend better, and then God will turn things around for us. You know, it's not enough for you to be making financial mistakes and money mistakes, and then you expect God to intervene. God is still a God of principles, and it is commonly said that as you make your bed, that is how you will lie on it. If you make your bed good, you will lie on a good bed. If you make your bed bad, you will certainly lie on a bad bed. Do you understand? So that's why I'm trying to share these things with you, so that it will help your life, it will form your mindset, and you follow these principles, and you'll be able to live a better financial life. Let's talk about something else that is very key and important to me. Number eight money mistake that people make is not having a financial plan. Not having a financial plan. Do you know that many of us do not have any tangible financial plan? We do not have a plan for the future. We don't even have a trajectory. Like, between now and this time, this is the money I'm supposed to make. Between now and this time, this is where my finances should be. They don't have a plan. And somebody will be like, why do I need to write my plan on paper? Why do I need to write it down? Even the Bible says, write down the vision and make it plain. Write down the vision and make it plain. See, your financial future depends on what is going on in your life right now. Let me say this again. Your financial future depends on what is going on in your life right now. So ask yourself, what is going on in my life financially right now? Because what is going on in your life financially right now will determine what your financial future will look like. Can I tell you that there are 4 basic phases of having money? Number 1 is the paycheck to paycheck. The paycheck to paycheck simply means that you wait for salary, all right? So each month you get the paycheck, you get paid, you receive the salary, you eat up everything, and then you are waiting for the next paycheck. And there are people living that kind of life. If you're living that kind of life, you know yourself. You can attest. Yes, you know yourself. You know that this is what you are doing. You live when the paycheck comes, you live based on that. When it's finished and you're waiting for another paycheck, that is not a wise way to live. You might tell me this is your condition for now, but you have to make better plans and don't make these money mistakes. Number 2 phase of financial phase that some people have is the gaining traction phase. At this gaining traction phase, at least you're able to save up 1 month's salary in your savings. So at least, even though you are waiting for the next paycheck, at least you know that 1 month's worth of pay is somewhere in your account waiting. All right, you know that this is, at least I have a 1 month advance in case something happens within this period. Now, the 3rd phase of financial life is having peace of mind. When you have peace of mind, it simply means you already have an emergency fund. So you have a full emergency fund, and you know that there is something I can use in the case of emergency. With this, I can start a new business. With this, I can make a new investment. With this, I can be able to turn my life around. All right. So this is the level of peace of mind. Then the 4th phase, financial phase, is what we call financial freedom. Financial freedom. At this level, you don't just have wealth for yourself, you have wealth for generations after you. You can provide for anything, you can start up anything you want, anything your heart desires, you can really do it because you have financial freedom. Now, it's not only an emergency fund you really have funds that can change anything, funds that can turn your life around, and funds that can truly help the people that deserve help from you. This is the level that everyone should aim for. And this is why we need to have a financial plan. If you don't even have a financial plan, how will you know the phase that you are in? That's why you have, everybody's financial plan is towards financial freedom. That moment when you know that money is not an issue. Money is no longer a prayer point. And this is my prayer for you, that you get to your level of financial freedom in Jesus' name. All right, so other people also have this kind of problem where they make unrealistic financial goals. So the fact that I said you should have a financial plan does not mean you should have unrealistic financial goals. Some people will say, okay, in the next year I'll be building a mansion. Next year I'll be buying a jet. Listen to me, that is unrealistic. What do you have today? What do you have today that tells you that over time, that in the next 12 months, you'll be able to actually acquire an airplane? So don't make unrealistic goals and unrealistic plans. When I say you should make plans, a financial plan, it's not that you should just open your mouth and say whatever you feel like saying. No, it means that you just have to intentionally and deliberately make a plan that will take you where you want to be, because your financial future depends on what you are doing right now, on whatever it is you are doing with your finances right now. Is that okay? All right, so let's talk about number 9. Number 9 money mistakes that people make is lending money you cannot forget. Lending money you cannot forget. This is something that happens to almost everyone. Sometimes people come around you, they want you to lend money, and you know the funny part, the mouth, the way, the tone with which they used to ask you to lend this money to them is usually not the tone with which they eventually respond to you when you ask them to pay back. So this is always a problem. Lending money you cannot forget. I have a personal principle. If I ever lend you money, I am lending you money that I can forget. And I don't ever lend money to somebody that I cannot forget. So you have to ask yourself, what is that money that I can not forget? All right, what is that money that I can forget? This is very important. That way you are not filled with bitterness. That way you are not angry. So when people come around you, lend them money that you can forget. If you don't have all, give them what you have and tell them this is what I'm lending to you, and expect them to pay back. The people I have lent money, in as much as I have said this is money I can forget, I still sit back and watch if they will pay me. If they don't pay me, they have closed that door, because I won't do it next time. Now, if you're able to pay me back, I know that you are trustworthy. And then when you ask for it next time, I can equally give you another amount of money that I can forget. Don't give anybody money you cannot forget. This is the reason behind lots of bitterness, sickness, heartache and pressure and heartbreak and betrayals. Many people have given people things they cannot forget. Please don't find yourself in that shoes. Learn to say no. And you know the funny thing, when people ask you for money and you don't give them, they will be angry for a while, but they won't be angry forever. Right? They won't be angry forever. A day will come in their life when they will be okay with it. But you know, the same problem will still happen if you give them money you cannot forget, and then they are not able to pay back. They will still be angry with you. They will still avoid you. They will still betray you. So it's just the same problem. But now you have to be wiser. Learn to say no. No is not a bad thing. There are times you learn to say no. I am not teaching people on this channel to be stingy. No, that is not my ambition. That is not my aim. I don't want you to be stingy. Be a liberal giver. God blesses a cheerful giver, right? So please be a liberal giver, but be careful when you are lending money. Lend money that you can deal with, so that if something happens to the person and the person is not able to pay you back the money, you will not faint, you will not die, you will not kill yourself, because you know in your heart that this money from my heart I gave to this person, and then you'll be able to endure and control it. Don't lend the kind of money that when you hear that this person is not able to pay back or incapacitated, you just faint and die. No, don't be like that. All right, lend money that you can forget. It's a principle I learned early, and I believe so much in my heart that if you are able to learn it, it will help and revolutionize your financial life. And then finally, on this topic, money mistakes that people make, I'd like to share with you the 10th money mistake that people make. If you are able to recall all the points I was able to share with you, number 1, I said to you that one of the money mistakes that people make is having just one stream of income. Number 2, not having an emergency fund. Number 3, allowing lifestyle creep to happen. And then number 4, frivolous spending and impulse buying. I told you number 5 mistake that people make is living on borrowed money. I told you number 6 mistake that people make is not planning for retirement. And then I told you number 7 mistake that people make is paying your debts with your savings. I also shared with you number 8 mistake that people make is not having a financial plan, or sometimes even having unrealistic goals, financial goals. And then number 9, I shared with you that the number 9 money mistake people make is lending money that you cannot forget. Now, number 10 money mistake that people make is not having an investment strategy. Many people talk about investment, but you need to find out, learn more about what you want to invest in. Many people just carry money and they go ahead to invest, but they do not check, where am I investing? What are the prospects that are in this place, in this investment place? Some people say, oh, the riskier the investment, the higher the gain. But listen to me, there are times when you even riskily, when you risk an investment and make an investment and you lose everything. So please have an investment strategy. Learn more about what you want to invest in. Don't just go ahead and invest in real estate or invest in agriculture because I said so. Make sure that you know what you are investing in. Learn more about it. There are people that said, oh, agriculture is the way to go. And they went and bought crops, and pests and parasites finished the crops. They bought animals, chickens and fishes, and they all died away because of just one disease that struck them. So please sit back and learn more about the investment you want to do. Have a strategy. Have a plan. If you are buying and you intend to sell, know when to buy, know when to sell. Know how long you need to keep it, and know when you have to change ownership. All of these things are important so that you don't end up wasting your money. Have an investment strategy. Have a plan. Learn more from professionals. Have a financial mentor, somebody who will tell you how they were able to make money in this area of business. This is very important so that you don't make lots and lots of mistakes. And these are the few things I decided to share with you on money mistakes that people make. Now, let me ask you this question. I really need to ask you this very important question. And the question is this: what money mistake have you made? Share with me in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section, what money mistake have you made and how do you plan to correct it? Remember, we are all learning from each other. So let me know in the comment section, what money mistake have you made and how are you planning to correct it? What do you intend to put in place to make sure that it is corrected so that what happened before does not happen again? And then if there are money mistakes you think I did not mention in this video, of course I was not very exhaustive on the subject matter, please let me know in the comment section. Let me know about other money mistakes that people make, and then we'll all learn together. So I really want to appreciate you for all that you do for us at Checkpoint. Thank you so much for sharing the link of this video. Thank you so much for your comments, your beautiful comments. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you for commenting, and thank you for sharing. Thank you for everything that you do. Remember, because of all that you do, our message is able to reach a wider audience. And until I come your way again in Checkpoint, I'd like you to keep making a positive, indelible mark and in the lives of people and on the sands of time. I love you so much. Bye-bye. Hi everyone, I hope you were blessed by that message. All right, so I want you to just go ahead and support us. If you are led, go ahead and just sow into the account right on the screen. And I know that as you do that, God will bless you big time. Because of the seeds you are sowing, you'll be able to reach a wider audience on different platforms. So please do well to sow that seed and God will bless you. Love you.